It's Friday, you guys. So obviously, it's food hack time. Hey guys, Kira here from 50 Shades of Mom, tips for all shades of mom life, and in today's video, I am back to share with you some more food hacks. But today, instead of it just being Friday, it's also Taco Friday. That's right, no Taco Tuesday, it is Taco Friday up in here. And why? Because I'm sharing with you guys 3 taco-based food hacks, and I'm really excited to share them with you because one I did for my kids for lunch, and then 2 of them were a dinner, and one was just better than the next. You guys know I rant and rave about this book, and if you're new here and you don't know about this segment, I'll link my entire food hack playlist for you guys to go ahead and get caught up. But I love sharing recipes out of this book, and these were just as good as the rest. I'm never disappointed. I truly am not. So I'm gonna take you down to the counter. I'm gonna show you 3 taco recipes for our version of Taco Tuesday. Taco Friday. Taco Friday. All right, you guys, so our first recipe for our Taco Hack Friday is eating your hot dogs in a tortilla. So I actually went ahead and made this for my kids for lunch. I thought this would be really different and yummy because you stuff the hot dog with cheese before you put it in the tortilla shell, and then you grill it in a pan, very similar to a grilled cheese. And the hot dogs that I have are already stuffed with cheese, so that's gonna be amazing. So I have 2 hot dogs, 1 for each kid, 2 tortillas, and just a little bit of shredded cheese. I'm sure you can stuff whatever you want inside of that tortilla, but I just went ahead and followed the directions and just made a hot dog. So first they want us to poke a bunch of holes in each hot dog and then place them rolled up in a paper towel and into the microwave for just 45 seconds. And then they want you to wrap your tortillas in a damp paper towel and put it in for 45 seconds as well. So once the hot dogs were done, I swapped them with the tortillas. So now the tortillas are cooking, and you can see that these are piping hot. I've never cooked a hot dog in the microwave before, and 45 seconds was perfect. They were cooked and warm and hot, but not shriveled up to the point where you could tell you microwaved them. And so once they came out, I just cut a slit down the center of each hot dog. Now our tortillas were ready, so I placed each hot dog in the middle of each tortilla and then jammed in some of that shredded cheese. I was actually thinking diced tomatoes or some beans, or refried beans probably would have been good in that too. And then you're just gonna fold it and roll it up. I usually just fold over both sides, fold them inside, and then so it kind of makes your circle more of a square, and then you're just gonna go ahead and keep rolling it up, and that's it. So I took our 2 wrapped up hot dog tortillas and stuck a little butter in the pan. Please be careful and watch the temperature. I burn everything because I like my pans to be screaming hot when I first put stuff into it, and I don't give it time to cool down before I add my actual food to the pan. So you can see this is a little bit more toasty than I would have liked, but 1 tablespoon of butter, and once it's all melted, you're just gonna stick your tortillas in there, and about 2 minutes on each side if you're not doing it in a smoking hot pan like that, and then take them out, and that was it. I let them cool for a few seconds, and then I just cut them in half, and the cheese was all ooey and gooey, the shredded cheese plus the cheese inside of the hot dog already, since I bought the cheese dogs, and my kids absolutely loved it. They dunked it in ketchup. That was their lunch alongside of some fruit. But what a different way to eat a hot dog, just a different take than a bun. So I really enjoyed this food hack, but this one is probably my favorite out of all 3. And this is a recipe for Mexican lasagna, and this says boiling noodles, who needs it? If you've got hungry mouths to feed, this should be your go-to full-bodied meal that's guaranteed to please. This stuff is great when topped with shredded lettuce, avocado, guacamole, and sour cream. So we're gonna need 1 pound of ground beef, some cooking spray, some salt and pepper. You're going to need some taco seasoning, some salsa, some tomatoes, some shredded cheese, and then some tortillas. I'm using the carb balance kind. Those are the ones that I buy, but you guys can use whatever kind of tortillas you want, and a pie plate, because that's what we're making our Mexican lasagna in. So I put our ground beef into a frying pan. I'm using my little meat masher. I love my meat masher. That's linked in my Amazon store below if you guys want to check it out. But that was probably my favorite purchase this year for kitchen utensils, because I always wanted one and it works brilliant. So once my meat is all ground up, I went and added a little bit of taco seasoning, our salt and pepper, and then water. Water is the best way to distribute any kind of seasonings that you put in ground beef. I do that all of the time. So now that's all done, and we're gonna spray our pie plate, and it wants you to just put 2 tortillas onto the bottom. So obviously they have to overlap at some point. I'm pretty sure that I'm doing it correctly. I mean, there's no pictures to guide me, but we're gonna go with how they're describing it to be. So I put my 2 tortillas down, and then some of our ground beef, and then some salsa. And this is the pineapple salsa from Trader Joe's, which is phenomenal. And then a handful of shredded cheese. And then you're gonna go ahead and repeat the process just like you would lasagna, and keep stacking up the layers. They wanted you to do 3 layers, but there was no way I was going to be able to do 3 layers on top of the pie plate, and I ran out of tortillas anyways, you can see, because there's only 1 on top. Now on the very top, I thought they were going to have us add more shredded cheese, but they only say to put the shredded cheese on the inside. But what they do want us to put on top is tomatoes. So I have the really delicious heirloom tomatoes, the little tiny cherry ones, and I cut them up in quarters, and I put them on only half, just because I know some of my family members don't like tomatoes, so I didn't want to deter them from eating the whole thing. And then that went into the oven while we prepare the next recipe, which is calzone tacos. So you know me, I'm Italian, you guys. I usually share some kind of Italian hack and something that I do, so why not right now? So this says R. You know that frustrating feeling when you love tacos so much, but you also love pizza so much, and you have no idea what to eat? Well, problem solved. Serve them with taco toppings like salsa, chopped avocado, sour cream, shredded lettuce, and chopped tomatoes. So this is pretty much just taking biscuit dough, making a really yummy inside, and then stuffing individual biscuits and making mini empanadas, which I've never done something like that before. So I have some onion, some chopped jalapeno, some shredded cheese. That is the other half of our ground beef, because that was a 2-pound bag, some black beans, some corn, some tomato sauce, taco seasoning, and biscuits. So I used the same pan that we just used to prepare that other meat, because this was our dinner. We were having both that Mexican lasagna and these calzone tacos as a meal. So I put that meat right back in the same pan and then added some onions. Look, our Mexican lasagna is out, and look how delicious that looks. And now, before we open up our can of black beans, I wanted to show you guys the new can opener that I got. This is by a company called Kitchen Mama. They make all different kinds of kitchen gadgets, and this is one of those electronic can openers. I don't know about you guys, but I only have a regular handheld can opener, which, being 38, there's absolutely nothing wrong with old school, but I absolutely love this new innovative can opener. It's handheld. I put it down on the top and I push the button, and then once it gets completely around in one circle, you push the button again to disengage, and that's it. It's done. It's super quick and super easy. I set it off while I'm doing something else, and I love that it makes the kind of can that doesn't have the rough edges. Both of my little kids have cut themselves on a can that has been cut open like that. So I love that it's the safety edges. I will have all their information linked down below and in my Amazon store if you guys want to check it out. Everybody needs a handheld electronic can opener. At least I know I do, and it is amazing. So now our black beans are open, and we're going to add them, some corn, the jalapeno, the taco seasoning, and the tomato sauce to our meat mixture, and we're just going to give it a good mix. I ended up going back and adding a little bit more tomato sauce to our mixture. When I break my ground beef apart, I usually make it into like 2¼ or 2½ pound packages, and I tried to divide it evenly between both recipes, so both were probably over a pound at least for both of them. So it did need a little bit more sauce than the recipe called for, but That tomato sauce is kind of what pulled in that quote unquote calzone because it gave it that pizza flavor. But now you're just going to take a regular thing of biscuits and you're going to use a rolling pin and you're going to roll them out as much as you can get the biscuit to go, and then you're just going to fill them and fold them over like you would a little turnover, or like I said, a calzone or an empanada, and use a fork just to seal the ends and put it on a well greased cookie sheet. Now I greased it even though most standard biscuit containers say you don't need to. There's enough butter or fat inside of the biscuits itself to keep them from sticking, but we were adding in a bunch of inside stuff that I was afraid if that leaked out, any kind of cheese. Now I did add cheese to this and you guys just didn't see it. You saw in the beginning that we needed cheese, and then I filmed myself making the first two and realized I was forgetting to put cheese inside. So the rest of them do have cheese except the first two that you guys saw me make, but I literally just did the same thing besides adding a pinch of cheese to the top. But I was afraid that cheese was going to ooze out and stick, so I did spray it really good, but they came out amazing. And then those layers, you guys, do you see the layers of that Mexican lasagna? It was so delicious. This was my plate. I had one of those calzone taco things, and really I was trying to avoid the bread, but I want to be able to try it. I enjoy trying the food hacks because I'm really curious to see how they taste, because I feel like she does such a good job with doing things I would never do before. But that low carb Mexican lasagna with the cilantro, and I like the tomatoes and the sour cream, it was just so dynamite, you guys. If you take any recipe out of this video, I'm telling you, take that Mexican lasagna with you and make it. Do something with it. You will absolutely love it. But that is it for today's video, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and if you did, make sure to give it a big thumbs up. I really enjoy bringing you guys Food Hack Fridays, and if you give it a thumbs up, I know to keep sharing them. I love you guys all so much. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.